Hello everyone, good day. I am Jubito Kyle H. Plaza, the next reporter, and today we will be discussing about ability and disability as dimension of diversity. People with special needs are considered as nation's largest minority where some people treat them differently. The concept of diversity encompasses acceptance, collaboration, as respect. People with special needs vary in race, gender, educational background, socioeconomic status, organizational lines, and even global understanding. This can be understood that each individual is unique and recognize or develop the individual difference. When we say people with special needs, it is common that they are treated differently, right? So, the concept of diversity encompasses acceptance, collaboration, and respect. We need to accept collaboration and respect them as doesn't mean that they are disabled, they can do use what capabilities they have, but they are more that can be accepted. This can be understood that each individual is unique and organizing the individual difference. It is exploration of this different safe, positive, and nurturing environment. It is about understanding each other and moving beyond simple tolerance to embracing the celebrating the rich and dimension of diversity contained each individual. But then the disability of individual hinders them to employ. Here are some factors that help to perpetuate the high unemployment rates of persons with disabilities and from cultural diverse background, or let's say there are limited attention given to people with disabilities as the world largest minority group. People with disabilities from culturally diverse background experience twice the discrimination experienced by non-disabled people is minority community both disabled and race complicate and the situation. When we say minority group of it often occurs within the discourse of civil rights and collective rights as members of minority groups are prone to differential treatment in the countries and societies in which they live. Minority group members often face discrimination in multiple areas of social life, including housing, employment, healthcare, and education, among others. There is a disparity in rehabilitation service provided to minority persons with disabilities. Aside from that public health issues that most racial ethnic minorities face, minorities with disabilities experience additional disparities in health, prejudice, discrimination, economic barriers, and difficulties accessing care as a result of their disability. In effect, they face adult burden. But 3. Education opportunities are less available and affordable to individuals with disabilities from culturally diverse background. Not all disabled can be educational opportunities. For example, income status of the child's family. We can consider that also to reduce economic and social inequalities. Students, regardless of income status, must have equal opportunities to benefit from education. If general education system are not sufficiently prepared to meet the needs for students from low income families, and as a result students are getting inappropriately identified and then placed in substantially separate classroom as highly rates. These students are not be afforded an equal opportunity. Policymakers, educators should act on this recommendation to better inform and improve opportunities for students from low income family. 4. inadequate transportation and housing in disadvantaged communities intensify the employment barriers for minority people with disabilities. Transportation is an extremely important policy issue for those with disabilities, people with disabilities, and have constantly described how transportation barriers affect their lives in important ways. Number 5. There is a lack mentors of role model for minority individuals with disabilities in the workplace. 6. Mainstream job coaching and mentoring on job training and internship are readily available to minority individuals with disabilities. Number 7. Both mainstream and minority communities and religious organizations tend to overlook their capability to support the employment of minority individuals with disabilities. Number 8. Cultural differences are not clearly understood by individual or organization designing programs to support the employment of minority persons with disabilities. There's still people that don't understand the individual disabled person needs to support their employment due to cultural difference. Host says that important to remember the cultural dimension don't exist in real life. It's they are only way to understanding a very complex world. They are a framework for making sense of difference we can use as long as they are practically meaningful. As such, the dimension help us to understand that what happens in one particular culture does not necessarily happen in another. Also remember that this theory is about cultural groups and not individuals who can vary widely from each other despite sharing a culture. That's all about the ability and disability of dimension diversity.